I'm one of the old ones in Kentucky, 37 years. This is my 37th year. I am the oldest ag teacher in Kentucky as far as years. I have a greenhouse. My juniors and seniors, they take my greenhouse class. I have a nursery. I also teach it. And I don't really have anything for the freshmen. And so whenever I seen this grant come up, I thought, why can't we get chickens at our school? We try to come up with a catchy title. What comes first, the chicken or the eggs? Or the egg? Well, I don't know. First you got to have a chicken, and then you have the eggs, or you got to have the eggs to get the chicken. So I don't know which one comes first. Only God knows that. Okay, so we filled out the grant. We want to get an incubator. We want to hatch the chickens. We want the kids to be able to go out in the shop and watch the eggs. We're going to have students to bring their own eggs in. I'm going to get a 48 one, holds 48 with a turner. And so they're going to, the ones that do have chickens, I'm going to have sign them to bring 6 eggs in a piece. And then when they hatch, we'll know which ones, the eggs, which student it come from. I was very surprised whenever I asked my class, my freshmen, how many had chickens. Gosh, when I went to school, we had chickens all the time. These days, I have a lot of students that don't have chickens. So this is why I was interested in writing this grant, to get them to see the chickens. We're going to buy also a brooder. Put the chickens in when the eggs hatch, and then we did fill out to buy some cages and pens, nest for them, and we found out that our tech center could do that. So I'm going to be working with Lee County Tech Center. Mr. Judd's going to be building our chicken house, our chicken boxes and our fence, and put it all up for us. And so this is going to be a great program to get our freshmen involved. I tell them when they come in that they're my babies, and when they're my seniors, then they're the captains. So at this time, I did a little research, had them to look up different parts about raising chickens, to do a short research. I have Paige Stamper is the first one, and she's going to talk about the incubator, what to do with the eggs.
Okay, what is an incubator? An egg incubator is an enclosure for the eggs that has ventilation, controlled temperature, humidity, and keeps the eggs rotated. Ventilation is a key in keeping eggs healthy because it keeps harsh weather from affecting the eggs. Next is controlled temperature. You have to keep your heat source at a regular temperature of 99.5 degrees over a 24-hour period. Then there is humidity. Your humidity should be 40 to 50%. If the eggs have too much or not enough humidity, take a sponge with more or less surface area to adjust it. Water may also have to be added to the pan to keep the humidity up. If you are going to turn the eggs yourself, then draw an X on one side of the egg and an O on the other to keep track of which eggs have been turned. At least 3 times a day, gently turn the eggs over. More frequently turning is even better. But the number of turns per day should be odd, 3, 5, 7, etc., so that the eggs are never resting on the same side for 2 consecutive nights. Once the incubator is functioning properly, it's just a matter of maintaining the environment until the chicks hatch. It should take about 21 days for them to hatch.
Okay, the next one, he does raise chickens. His dad is the one that's going to help us build. Brandon McIntosh.
Well, I've had chickens for a while now, and we hatch them and raise them. and we sell a lot of them. And we found that the best way to take care of the chicks after they come out of the incubator is we take them and we put them in a Rubbermaid tote, and we have pine shavings it's a absorbent bedding for the chicks, and it's soft on their feet and comfortable for them to nest in. And just need to use chick-safe feeders and waters, because if you don't, worst case scenario, the chicks could fall in the water and drown, and they can ruin the food for the other chicks. And the food needs to be medicated if they aren't wormed or anything. It gives them the minerals and vitamins and stuff that they need to live. And then their water, they need a mineral tablet, and it helps them to get all the water-soluble vitamins. And they need to stay in there like about 16 weeks. Then you need to introduce roosting poles to them, and that way they can adapt to them when they get inside the chicken coop. Thank you.
Okay, the next one is Brianna Collins. She's going to be telling you about laying chickens.
Well, I'm going to read this off my paper. I'm going to talk about the laying chickens. In the process of getting the hen to lay eggs, you should keep them confined till mid-morning. Most hens lay early in the day, so by keeping them in the coop until most of the egg laying is finished, you maximize the chances that they'll lay in the nest boxes instead of finding a cozy place outside the coops. You should always make sure you keep your nest boxes soft and comfy. Laying hens should be fed layer ration no earlier than 18 weeks of age, so they can already be at the point of laying eggs. Hens should always have to have access to clean, fresh water and supplemental calcium. Assuming your hens have enjoyed good food and care, the young hens called pullets begin laying sometime between their 16th and 24th week of age. One of the best hens to lay eggs is a buff hen. Let's just say they're the Scarlett Johanssons of the chicken world. The buff breed is a great choice for a backyard chicken. They are raised for the purposes of both meat and egg production. They are very calm and friendly as opposed to flighty, skittish, or aggressive. Buffs grow relatively quickly and start laying eggs as early as 24 weeks old, so you can begin to get your eggs and either hatch those eggs or have a big old breakfast. Thank you.
Okay, we haven't really decided what we're going to do with the eggs at the end. We're going to have them to lay, and we'll probably sell the eggs to the teachers. Some of them say, well, what are you going to do when school's out? I don't know whether I'll give them to my students or we'll just have a big barbecue. So we could do that. One thing I do want to say, I just got back from the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis, Indiana, and Lee County is really proud. We had a student to run for the state of Kentucky for national office. He was in the finals. They narrowed it down to 20, and so one of my former students that goes to the UK in ag education was in the finals, so I just wanted to tell you all that. I really appreciate my freshmen. So this project will really help get hands-on. I'm a teacher that likes to get hands-on activities. I don't like to stay in the classroom all the time. And so this is really going to help them, and it's going to help me when I go over all about poultry and stuff, that they're all going to be excited and be raring to listen and do the activities. Thank you so much. You got any questions?